Today, this seasoned pirate makes his final push towards what he believes to be one of, if not the greatest honours among the seas. Fighting for the Reapers, you will hear of the many tales, following highs, lows, and even discussing how you too could achieve this ultimate feat. But I warn you, this does not come without great sacrifice. Join me, Captain Daddy, as we burn a path through the seas in Flameheart's name. As you will know, I have stood by Flameheart since the very start, after mistakenly handing in dolls that were used to resurrect him. But during my time on the seas, I have been here to cause nothing but mayhem and carnage for any pirate that I meet. This is shown in many ways, from stealing their loot to using kegs in order to sink their vessels. However, this was all going unnoticed, and I don't aim to be just any Reaper. I want pirates to look at me with fear and know me as that Reaper. Eventually, I took it upon myself to really prove my worth, pledging to the Servants of the Flame and hunting any and all ships from the Guardians of Fortune. This has been mentioned previously in Tales, however it was now that I decided to take on as many as I could. But what I thought would be an easy road to glory, success and prestige would prove to be the hardest and most mentally draining pursuit on the seas. Now if you ask me if this is all worth it, well of course it was. Although draining and difficult, something that is easy does not have value, and the difficulties I faced only made the end result much more of an achievement. Many of my sails were alone, facing against other sloops, some sinking much easier than expected, and others sending me to the depths faster than an Athena keg. But some were much more unusual, asking to roll a dice in order to win instead of fighting. And I can tell you that after a long day of nothing but sinks, this was music to my ears, but also showed that whichever side of the battle you're on, we can still all have fun and enjoy together the company of others. That is exactly what I did though, as told in a previous tale in which I sailed with other pirates on a galleon as we took on the Guardians, all whilst laughing in their faces and even getting very lucky with a stronghold keg to win us one of the battles. These I think were my most favourite and fun battles out there, as we didn't really care too much whether or not we sank, as long as we had fun along the way. But the times where I showed my real excellence was when sailing as a duo, fighting side by side with a friend and taking down everything in our way. My ship has been and always will be the sloop, and with another member on deck to help me sail and fire the cannons, we were almost unstoppable, sinking many more than before, all while showing a true fighting spirit. But all of these fights came down to this one final battle. Me and my crew aboard the Curse Hunter rose up to face against a noble vessel that was known as the Crux. But unlike normal naval battles, I was eager and ready to sink them, and all I needed was an opening for a boarding attempt before any cannons were even fired. I dove into the sea and latched onto their ladder, and once on deck, I wasted no time, starting by taking out two of the pirates. Once they were anchored and in place, I set their ship ablaze, before my crew parked our galleon right next to them, and we began to unleash fire. We were relentless, and much quicker than I had anticipated. They had sunk, and now was the time to claim our prize, which in this case was a grade 5 emissary flag, and hand it in to the Reapers. Now, although there was a Fort of the Damned, we quickly decided we were going to ignore this, as a pirate began speeding towards us with a keg, but after killing him, he once again returned, and we knew that we needed to sell at the hideout fast. Once we had made it, however, the flag was handed in, and it was then that I was told to enter the lair. And although I had been here before, nothing could have prepared me for what was about to come. I followed my loyal crewmates through the lair as they took in the views around, as they had not entered this area before, until we eventually met up with a Reaper telling me to kneel before her. I did just this, and it was then that a ceremony began. They talked of my deeds and acknowledgements on the seas, and it turned out that they had been watching, and they were wanting to show me some true appreciation. But before any of this could happen, Flameheart himself arose in the shadows to personally greet me, before telling me to drink from this sacred fountain. I was handed this cup, and soon my flesh began burning up, or as it appeared, burning off. And I was now just bones, but stood before them all, the Reapers, Flameheart, and my own loyal servants. I had truly made it, and I was now amongst one of the greatest servants on the seas, as now they all bow down to me. If you see me on the seas, you better beware, as who knows what troubles we may get into. But if you have enjoyed my journey so far, please subscribe to this channel and like the video to help grow this community. And if you need to see any more of my adventures, click the one on screen now. Arrgh!